And it's a very good afternoon to the Gelding. Oh, actually, good morning, Gelding. I'm in the wrong time zone. Apologies for that,
Professor. Yeah, you're getting a bit ahead of yourself. Because
special,
if it was in the afternoon, we'd know what won the first race.
That's exactly. On a special edition of That's Racing, given that there's racing at Sandown today.
Midweek racing at the lakeside at Sandown. So we thought we might not have a crack at it.
Well, why not? After all,
12 million people in Australia are in lockdown, Professor.
They'll all want to look at this today, Gelding.
Exactly. What better to do than look at Sandown? And
the track, a soft 6, but the weather's fine, Gelding, so hopefully it'll dry out a little bit. The rail out 3 metres for the entire circuit.
Yeah, a bit overcast where I am, Professor, but excuse me. Yes, a soft 6, 3 metres out, lakeside. Look, having a look at patterns of racing for the listeners, maybe the form kind of tells you that maybe the on-pace runners, kind of in the front half of the field, don't get back too much, because you're on the smaller track at Sandown, on the inner track, and maybe look at the lanes, just one or two off, off the fence, be looking at coming, say, just behind the pace, 3 or 4 wide down the up that straight.
Yeah, well, hopefully the horses that we back today will understand the pattern of racing better than they did on Saturday, Gelding.
Oh, yeah, Professor. We hope so, but still Saturday, two winners, a
placing, yeah.
on a 50%
very difficult
win
day.
rate, 75% place rate, but
yeah, on a very
was a very difficult day.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. All right, Gelding, what are your 2 red hot tips for today?
Well, Professor, I like them kind of later in the day. I think the bet of the day is race 6, number 11, Smoke and Romans. Initially had Craig Williams down to ride, however, probably been caught up in the COVID situation in Queensland, and Mick D is down to ride. Look, I watched this horse at Sandown last up, Professor, and when it was ridden by a young apprentice, not a young apprentice, it was ridden by Dean Yendall, but Dean tended to get caught up behind a couple of horses halfway down the straight, got out in the last 100 metres, and this horse just flew to the line, Professor, to go down in a photo finish, beaten the nose officially, and was probably a good length clear, 5 metres past the post. So if it had got out a bit earlier, would have been getting. So look, Mara and Eustace trained down on 54 kilos. Mike D to ride for him, I think, could be a good way to start for my bets, Professor.
And your second choice?
Second choice is race 7 at 3:20. Influential Jack, horse number 10. Allerton Zara trained horse ridden by Damien Lane. Just think this horse now gets up to its right distance at 1400 and is just building up to a win with a 4th and a 3rd, Professor. 3rd start back. Should be picked in a very open race, round about the $4.60 mark, Professor. Think it's a good winning chance, but certainly a good each way chance.
Sounds like good tipping to me, Gelding.
Yes. And you like, Professor?
Yeah, I'm starting a little bit earlier than you, Gelding, in race 5, the Ladbrokes Bet Ticker Handicap, benchmark 70 over 1,200 metres. And I like in that race, horse 6, Wilmot Pass, starting from barrier 13. 16 starts for 3 wins and 4 placings with a win rate of 19% and a place rate of 44%. Although it's had 2 placings and ran very well over its last 2 starts at Caulfield and then Sandown Hillside track in the middle of June. It's in a weaker class, and with Jamie Carr aboard, she's back to riding 20% win rate over her last 50%, over her last 50 rides. So hopeful that she'll be able to boot that one home. Trained by Anthony and Sam Freeman, an excellent training double there. So yeah, I can see that Wilmot Pass is the horse that I like in that race. Looking at a probably Halcyon Dame, number 15 would be the winner at the last start, is probably the big threat to Wilmot Pass.
Professor, fantastic tip and great each way value. Look, I noticed that 2 starts ago it ran third at Caulfield on a Saturday meeting in a higher rated race. It was in a 78, drops back to a benchmark 70, and the Friedman car combination's doing very, very well at the moment, Professor. So certainly like your choice. And Jamie Carr going on to the horse first time.
Yes.
Obviously, that's been very successful formula, and it's round about the $5, Professor. I reckon that's excellent tipping. A good winning chance, but an even excellent each way chance. So I think you'll be getting, it's a money back bet for nothing, and well picked.
Well, we've got our fingers crossed, Gelding.
Second pick,
choice,
Professor.
Yeah, the second choice in the last to get out race, race 9, the Ladbrokes Cash In Handicap, 1600 metres, benchmark 70. A horse also ridden by Jamie Carr, horse 8 Acceleration from barrier 4, trained by Richard Cully, who's got a base at Ballarat, but better known as an Adelaide trainer, Gelding.
Yes, Professor. Jamie Carr for an ex-Adelaide trainer, running the base out of Ballarat as well now. So growing, so it's got to be a good chance, Professor.
Yeah, it ran second over 1600 at Sandown Hillside track on its last start, piloted by Jamie Carr that day, and lost by a very short margin indeed, 0.1 of a length, if you can believe that.
Professor, that was the same race as Smoking Romans.
There you go.
Was in that. So, you know, if we like that as the bet of the day, this has got to be under consideration.
Currently showing $6.10 and $2.70 on the tote, Gelding.
Oh, again, Professor, sensational each way value, but don't give it up as a good winning chance. It hasn't been far away. Its last 2.
Exactly right.
0.8 of a length and a B something or other.
Yeah, exactly right, Gelding. And look, it wouldn't surprise me if we got certainly 4 placings out of those selections. And likewise, I wouldn't be surprised at all if it brought home 4 winners. So that's something to look forward to for the day.
Oh, Professor, look, a hard day, midweek, Sandown, in a track, wet track, always hard. But look, we've gone with some proven jockeys. So hopefully they will be able to figure out what is the best, and that may be the difference between, you know, winning and second and thirds and fourths, Professor. So let's hope for some good rides.
Exactly, Gelding. And I've managed to even put a parlay together today.
Yes, yeah, you've done well.
The Professor's parlay, which was very successful in 2 out of the 3 legs that we picked on Saturday, Gelding.
Oh, Professor, look.
As usual, we got the 2 non-racing legs up.
Yes. Oh, look, the racing leg is the hardest, but the tip did run third, Professor. Yeah, so we weren't far away.
No, we weren't far. All right, today's parlay, our agreed bet of the day, Gelding, race 6, horse 11, Smoking Romans.
Yep.
Currently showing $2 on the tote. Into, here's one for you, Gelding. In the AFL, Richmond to beat Gold Coast tomorrow night.
Beautiful. I like it, Professor.
Certainties.
We're going back to the old Etihad Stadium. What's it called now? Marvel
Stadium.
Yes.
Showing $1.14, Gelding.
Yes.
And the very informed Melbourne Storm to beat the Sydney Roosters.
Oh, well, I like it, Professor.
And they're showing $1.32. The parlay showing 3-1 all up, Gelding.
No, well, small fish are sweet, Professor.
Yeah, they are, Gelding. They're very sweet. We wish punters a successful day. Certainly plenty of people around the country with not much to do, given that there's, as I heard this morning, in excess of 12 million people locked down, Gelding.
Unbelievable, Professor. Almost half of Australia in lockdown.
Well, Melbourne being the jewel in the crown at the moment.
At the moment, Professor. Let's hope. Let's hope it stays that way.
All right, Gelding, until Saturday, it's good luck.
And good punting.